Every year, fishing gear is lost in our oceans due to storm activity, boat traffic, and gear abandonment. Derelict fishing gear haunts our oceans, catching all kinds of marine animals in its path. This is called ghost fishing, and it is a global problem. Everyone is impacted by ghost fishing, and there are many players involved in finding a solution. Here's one perspective.
My name is Bonnie Monteleone, and I'm the Executive Director for Plastic Ocean Project, and I'm also the Director of Science Research and Academic Partnerships. Plastic Ocean Project really came out of the research. I started in 2008, so I've been working on this for 9 years now. And in 2012, after I graduated, I decided that, gosh, you can't see what I've seen and just forget about it or write a thesis and defend and say, well, that was horrible. So I decided to start a nonprofit organization so that I could give other young people interested in this topic an opportunity to see what I've seen and learn what I've learned. What's really alluring about it is the fact that you really can't see it. When you look out over the ocean, it doesn't sit on top, right? It's actually hanging in the water column. So it's very, very difficult to actually see looking out over the ocean. You actually have to be in it to actually see it. So this is why a lot of incidents occur where people are accidentally driving over these huge wads of gear and getting entangled in it. NOAA predicts about 10% of what we find by volume is ghost gear. Now, when you think about 10%, it doesn't sound like much, right? It's only 10%. Now, what we know about plastic is it doesn't degrade very well in the ocean environment. So every year that compounds, right? So that 10% is a really big, big number. You know, fishing is important, especially for the economy here in North Carolina. Part of why our state happens to do so well with tourism is because people come here to hire our charter fishermen to go offshore and fish, as well as to come here and eat some really awesome seafood. About 1 billion people rely on fish as their protein. And this ghost gear, though it's lost, is still collecting fish. It's now competing with the fishing industry. And so it adds yet one more stressor to our fish populations. Marine debris researchers are vital to understanding what is happening with our marine life. Like, if we didn't research this issue of plastics, we probably wouldn't know that there is 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic floating around in the ocean right now, and that's just on the surface, right? So it's the research that drives the solutions. What can we do to stop this ghost gear from ending up in the ocean? There's a lot of things we can do. One, of course, is legislation, right? So we input laws that reduce the amount of time that this fishing gear can be left in the ocean, like the crab pots, right? So if we reduce the time, then there's less chance. The other thing that we can do is start getting innovative. So if we know that whales get entangled in this gear and it's so durable that a 40-ton animal can't break it, maybe we need to design the nets that they'll break at a certain threshold so that they will snap when these whales are swimming around at great speeds trying to remove this gear. And then lastly, and probably what each and every one of us can do, is not buy frozen fish in the freezer case. So that particular fish is the fish that's doing the most amount of damage. They're taking out a lot of bycatch, trying to catch a lot of fish so that they can have that fish in the freezer case. So avoid that, avoid buying canned tuna. Like, these are things that we can do, avoid, or at least reduce how much we're eating. That doesn't mean you can't eat fish, because everywhere you live, there's fish available in our streams and rivers and lakes and in our ocean. So buy local fish. Support your local economy by buying those from those fishermen. I feel one of the best solutions we have to this problem is working together with the fishing industry. So the fishing industry, they don't want this ghost gear taking out the fish that they're targeting. It's a problem for them as well. And if we don't agree with fishing or not fishing, we can all agree that ghost gear is a problem for both marine life and the fishing industry. So let's work together. Let's figure out a way where we can help the fishing industry. And let's start working together to get rid of this ghost gear.